Justin Burton. I'm Associate Professor of Music in the Fine Arts Department. He Young asked me to share some thoughts about or some strategies that I'm using for preparing for remote teaching this fall. So I've got really two basic ideas that I've come across as I've been prepping my courses this fall. The first is that I needed to build my syllabus differently. So what I usually do is I create a syllabus, and then after I've made the whole syllabus, then I create a Canvas site to support that syllabus. And the reason I do it that way is because when I teach face-to-face, 90 to 100% of the instruction is going to happen in the classroom face-to-face. And so the Canvas site at that point really becomes like a resource site where we keep grades and assignments and a syllabus and any other materials that students need. But it's not an instruction interface. Since Canvas is my instructional interface this time, and since I'm offering my courses primarily asynchronously, I needed to build my syllabus alongside building the Canvas site. They had to happen together for me to wrap my head around it. And so what I did was I started creating modules. This first one up here really is the syllabus, the course info. And then the rest of my modules are sort of like units, right? So here's an introduction to the software I teach. Here's a point I want to emphasize about maintaining volume when you're making music. Styles and genres overview, and then I teach them drums. I teach them bass, I teach them melodies, I teach them texture, and then I teach them how to make it all into one song. So I chunked these into modules, and then you can see that I opened up the modules and put in all of the individual steps that go into making these sounds, right, to making this music. So now I'm coming back and inputting everything. In addition to the insight that I need to build my syllabus and my Canvas site at the same time so that I'm thinking specifically about Canvas as an instructional delivery tool, the other insight that I had for myself was that I can work in small chunks. Usually in the classroom, I have 90 minutes, and so I plan what to do with 90 minutes worth of time. Some of it will be me showing them something, some of it will be them sharing their work, some of it will be them trying out something I've shown them, but I'm thinking 90 minutes at a time. And it was really tempting to just do the same thing here, take an old syllabus and go 90 minutes at a time through the stuff. But I realized there's nothing magical about 90 minutes. It's just as sort of how we organize face-to-face time at Writer. But it's not how it's not how I have to organize my online site. And in fact, I don't think it's the best way for me to. And so what I did, so if we use this module as an example, it's called It's Alive because the software is named Ableton Live, and I shamelessly love puns. This is the information that I would probably go over across about 2 sessions, right? So 1 week's worth of information. And my first inclination was, well, I'll just make two or maybe even just one long video introducing people to Live, or introducing my students to Live. But I realized that if they need to go back and get any information from that, that they're going to have to scan through like a 45 or 75 or 90 minute or 2-hour video trying to find a piece of information that they need to refresh themselves on. Moreover, when I try to record an entire introduction to software all at one time, it's a lot of information to keep in my head, and I feel less forgiven on video than I do in front of people if I make a mistake, right? So if I say in the classroom, click over here and this thing will happen, and then I've clicked on the wrong thing and the wrong thing happens, I can say, oh, never mind, I spoke wrong, here we're going to do it this way. No big deal, I keep it moving. If it's in a video, I feel compelled to go in and edit that out, edit the mistake out, or start the video over. And that can be very cumbersome if I'm trying to nail 90 minutes at a time. So what I did was I decided I'm going to make videos that are definitely less than 10 minutes and on average land between 3 and 6 minutes each. So you can see here, so far I've made 13 of these videos. The longest one is about 9 minutes, the shortest one is about 2. And this does a couple of different things. One, it holds the student's attention better. There's some research that says that students tend to start checking out after about 6 minutes of a video. So this is a good thing to keep in mind, that it's better to get them to watch. You're more likely to get them to watch 2 6-minute videos than 1 12-minute video. 2, it makes it easier for them to go back and review anything. If they need, for instance, to remember what to do with panning sound left and right, here's a short video that they can watch about it instead of trying to remember where in a 90-minute video I talked about panning sound left and right. And for me, it takes a lot of the stress out of making the videos. I don't feel the need to be perfect for 90 minutes at a time. I can jot down notes to get myself through like 5 to 8 minutes, make that video and keep it moving. And that way, if I make a mistake in the 5th minute of a 5-minute video, I'm only out 5 minutes. I've only lost 5 minutes of time. Or if my computer seizes up and I completely lose the recording that I just made, again, it's only 5 to 10 minutes worth of time instead of like 90 hours of anguish, right? So I would recommend to those of you who are doing instruction almost entirely through Canvas, or even those of you who are just doing some of your instruction through Canvas, to consider thinking about Canvas differently. If you, like me in the past, have used it mostly as a place to keep information and support your face-to-face instruction, to shift into thinking of this as the place where instruction happens, and the fact that that means that you've got to organize it differently, or I've decided I need to organize it differently. And secondly, I would recommend to you, both for your sanity and for your students' ease of use, thinking about working in small chunks, even as small as like 5 to 6 minutes at a time. A string of 5 to 6 minute videos is more likely to work out for your students than one long lecture. My email is jburton@rider.edu. I'm happy to chat with people if you have any questions about what I'm doing here.